Have you ever seen someone who was a victim of bullying turn out to be a big old bully themselves? Well, if you watch Seven Deadly Sins, you might have. Escanor with all of his might. I've never seen a more vicious bully than this one. It's insane because he turns it on and off. Escanor is a weak, vegetarian, bum-ass nigga at night, but he is incredibly arrogant during the day. So today, I've decided to make a video for you about the most savage moments in anime history. Case file, Escanor from the Seven Deadly Sins. Buckle up, because what we're about to witness is pure disrespectful. Let's get it! So, we get to see Escanor's background after he was introduced. Escanor was originally introduced as the Sin of Pride, and let me tell you, it was not pretty. His brother hit him almost every time for no reason, and he somehow awakened this power called Sunshine, and he accidentally broke his brother's arm. His father would not have it, so he disowned Escanor and sent people to kill him. Man's cold, tried to kill his own son. He escaped and went on to wreak havoc in different places. But enough of the backstory, let's get down to business. The mighty Escanor and the times when he was nothing short of a savage in battle. Number 1, Escanor's first night at the castle. Meliodas wanted to demonstrate to Escanor that the Sins were not so weak that Escanor could just harm them. Now, keep in mind that this is Escanor's lamest savagery moment. That's why I'm starting the video on this one. Meliodas approaches Escanor's night form and asks to test Escanor's strength to convince him that the Sins are not so weak that he could just easily murk them. His personality switched in an instant and he's no longer that little boy, but the big guy. He tells Meliodas that he shouldn't be joking around like, hold on, let's pause this crap for a minute. Who the hell is this dude? What became of the little guy? If you come one step closer, I can't guarantee you'll survive. He said that to freaking Meliodas. So Meliodas takes that one step, and the next thing we know, Escanor sends him flying into Ban, and they are both knocked unconscious. As if Escanor's display of power wasn't enough, he runs out of the castle and onto the mountains, where he begins beating the shit out of these rocks. That was the first account of Escanor's savagery with his first encounter amongst the Seven Deadly Sins. Number 2, the first time we saw the Sin of Pride. Now, he was chilling in some underground bar. The little guy, not the big guy, Ben, Elaine, and Jericho stumble into that sweet gluttony bar, and Escanor recognizes Ben almost immediately and hides him in the food storage. Galland and Meliscula wander into the bar a few minutes later, looking for Ben and the others. They begin to drink as much as they want, to the point where Meliscula says she is willing to spare Escanor when she wipes out humanity. Galland tells Escanor, yo, we know the people we were looking for are hiding on the other side of the door behind you. So we're going to play a game, and if you win, I'll let them live. He explains the rules to him, and Escanor agrees to play his little game. Galland pats him on the back, but unintentionally knocks him out. The next day arrives, and Escanor still hasn't gotten up from the rubble. Galland notices Rita and inspects the battle axe, which he tries to raise, but he quickly realizes that this battle axe is extremely heavy. Keep in mind that the battle axe's name is Rita. Escanor awakens in his day form and snatches the axe from Galland. It is not something that should be touched by some lowly demons who crawl in the darkness. He's only just woken up and he's already hurling dirt in everyone's face. He tells Galland that they were foolish to come into his bar to meet their demise. Galland is taken aback by Escanor's transformation, asking this man, is this dude really human? This waste man. I am human, but I am also the one who stands at the pinnacle of all races. Escanor thinks so highly of himself and we admire him for it. Galland says exactly what we're all thinking when he calls Escanor the cockiest human he's ever met, laughing at some of the mediocre joke he told, but only for a short time before Escanor strikes him with Rita and cuts him straight in half. Galland reassembled his body though and declares that not killing me with that last blow will be the biggest mistake Escanor ever made. Galland then attacks Escanor, but my dude is unfazed. Literally, this did not do shit to Escanor. He simply states that now it's his turn, and the mere aura of preparing his attack is so terrifying to Galland that he retreats. Seemingly instinctively and without thinking, he is then turned to stone by his own curse for violating the terms of the game. Galland had been turned into stone. Escanor confronts Meliscula and tells her she must choose between running or dying, telling her to make his decision while he's still a feminist. Yo, this man really said that. looking like James Peterson ass, Andrew Tate looking ass, C Breezy looking ass. Meliodas then devours Escanor's soul, but plot twist, this man is too hot for her, literally. Her insides are being burned by his soul, and she starts vomiting out fire. Meliodas is burned alive as a rage of fire bursts from her mouth. Escanor isn't even looking her way as she burns to death, instead turning away, confirming how little her power bothered him. That fight scene was one of the most savage moments that Escanor ever had in the series. Number 3, the fight with Estarossa. We all saw Estarossa's strength, and this fight proved to everyone that Escanor is indeed the strongest of the Sins. How can one man fight a whole family and win every single time? Meliodas, Zeldris, and Estarossa were all defeated by him. Now, everyone was held back by Estarossa's commandment except Escanor, the big bad wolf. Those who stand before Estarossa with hatred in their hearts will be rendered powerless to harm or inflict damage on anyone else. But Escanor was unaffected by the commandment. He walks up to Estarossa and says, "Why should I bear any hatred towards you when you're obviously weaker than me?" Man did not give a fuck! So Estarossa pops in, boom, 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 delivers the first few punches, knocks Escanor's ass to the ground. Escanor throws his punch, which Estarossa blocks, but then falls to the ground himself because the punch was so powerful that he felt weak after blocking it. Escanor starts taunting my boy like, "Yo, why you looking at the ground, homie? Are you kidding me?" I had to take a break just to laugh at Estarossa because it was so dramatic. Estarossa makes this man bleed, and he claims to be able to reflect twice as many of Escanor's attacks. The name's Escanor, committed to memory before I kill you. Escanor is just talking pure grease at this point. He was about to end Estarossa. We knew from that moment that Estarossa was dead meat. He uses the cruel sun move on Estarossa, throws him into the lake, causing the lake to evaporate. Estarossa swallows the attack with his darkness and declares that Escanor's attack will no longer be effective against him. Funny he would say that. That's what they all say before they get clapped. They continue fighting, and Escanor slashes Estarossa through the chest with his axe. However, his attacks really ain't affecting the man like that. With the power of the sun, Estarossa was flung into the air, thrown far into the clouds despite Zeldris' efforts to assist him from behind like the little snake he is. And Escanor just keeps walking it off. Lastly, Meliodas versus Escanor. What a fight. This man humiliates the young god Meliodas. Meliodas is enraged now, having lost his mind to the curse yet again. And he's about to go insane when Escanor steps in and decides to set him straight. He instructs Merlin to imprison both of them in her magical cage. Meliodas wants to be disrespectful here too, so he interrupts Escanor and calls him an impudent human. Escanor is just relieved that he finally has gotten the chance to fight this demon king and prove he is actually superior. They start fighting and Meliodas goes off on him, stabbing him and knocking him down. Now Escanor just sits there and says, "Wait a minute, it's almost noon. I'm gonna teach that jerk a lesson." He gets up and his body begins to grow. He becomes larger and larger. They continue to swing swords at each other, and Meliodas gets his sword stuck in Escanor's body. So they start throwing punches, and Meliodas knocks Escanor with one punch. That's one powerful punch. I mean, I know this video is about Escanor, but we must acknowledge the god himself. Now that Escanor appears defeated and is lying on the floor, Meliodas really thinks that he just won. But, as luck would have it, noon. Yes, it was exactly noon, and Escanor rose and is the one form. The man swings his hand in the air and slashes Meliodas. He slashed through the freaking air. That was incredible. And in my opinion, it was one of the best fights in anime history. His last words were savage to the max. The man just looked him dead in the eye and says, "How does it feel to be looked down on by a human?" Seven Deadly Sins ultimately is a crazy series, and you definitely got to check out what Escanor is up to. That's not all of Escanor's savagery, but that's all we have time for in this video. If you want to see more, leave a comment below requesting a part 2. And if you enjoyed the video, please click the thumbs up button, hit subscribe, and press the bell notification icon so you never miss another video. Until next time, peace.